Welcome back to MMA Al Dente. I am the guy who picked Gilbert Burns to defeat Jack Della Maddalena. In the first fight of the night, we have Andre Lima taking on Mitch Raposo. Andre Lima was bitten in his last fight, his UFC debut, by a werewolf named Igor Severino. I'm sure you remember that. And he won by disqualification. And since then, I'm guessing the flesh has regenerated, and now he's back ready to make his return against Mitch Raposo, who is the latest replacement for whoever the guy was before him, the guy with the name, Tumen Deborel or whatever. Anyway, Mitch Raposo is a guy who's been hovering around the UFC for some time. He's been on the Ultimate Fighter season Ortega versus Volkanovski. Strike that, reverse it. Volkanovski versus Ortega. And he was also on the Contender Series where he lost to Jake Hadley. That's his only legitimate professional loss. Jake choked him out in round two after Mitch was having a good round one. But his other loss is an exhibition on the Ultimate Fighter to Ludovic Sholinian. It doesn't count, but it's a 15-minute 3-round fight, and he lost rounds 2 and 3. But since then, since those two losses, he's looked really sharp. He hasn't beaten anybody great, doesn't have that signature win yet, but his hands have really come alive for him. He's gotten 4 knockouts or TKOs in his entire career, and 3 of them come in his last 3 fights. Again, over nobody great, but he still has done his part and looked really sharp. Got some beautiful finishes, knocked guys dead with overhand rights, and hit a beautiful body shot in round 4, a counter left-hand body shot over this guy Justin Valentine in his last fight. And he spent the whole fight timing overhand rights and really beating the guy up. But still, though, to get that finish was really impressive. But he is taking this fight on short notice. And those 2 losses to Jake Hadley and Ludovic Sholinian are fights that he lost due to a combination of 2 factors. Grappling, really from the bottom, him being taken down, and cardio. Because he won round one in both of those fights. Against Jake Hadley, he was on the back foot, and he's got really sharp hands, and he was doing his thing, but mixing it up with takedowns as well against Jake Hadley. And against Ludovic Sholinian, there were no takedowns, but he was on the back foot and just doing really well from the outside as well in that one. And then in round 2, he slowed down enough to the point where Jake and Ludovic were able to crowd him, corner him, and take him down. And he didn't get finished by Ludovic, but that was pretty much the story for rounds 2 and 3. He never recovered once he was taken down. And against Jake Hadley, he really never recovered, and he was choked out a minute or so after being taken down. But Jake has a lot more to offer, jiu-jitsu-wise, than Ludovic Sholinian. But the grappling doesn't give me too much concern, even though I think Andre Lima has a little more to offer grappling wise and meets the eye. I do think Mitch Raposo, at the very least, would be safe on the ground with Andre Lima, and at the very most would be dominant. So I think he wouldn't run into too much trouble on the ground. But the cardio is what really caused the grappling to make its way into the fight in both of those fights. His cardio failed him. He slowed down a little bit. He looked like Frankie Edgar in round 1, bouncing all over the place and really good on the back foot, mixing up some nice strikes, but he slowed down. And that was the story of both those fights. And here he's fighting a guy who is not, even though he might be a little underrated and whatever, he's not a grappler. So there's that. But Mitch is taking the fight on short notice. So you plug that into his losses, and there's a little bit of concern. Having said that, I've got enough confidence in him to maybe not pick him to win, but to have bet on him at plus 180, and certainly to bet on him by decision at whatever those odds are going to be, unless they're close to plus 180, where I'll just go with the money line. But I do think Mitch can win this fight by duplicating the success of the one guy who beat Andre Lima, Marcos Degli, who's a solid professional fighter, Brazilian guy, I believe. And he was able to beat Andre Lima on the amateur scene by taking him down, generally speaking, getting top position. Andre Lima, that's one of the fights that made me respect his grappling more, to be honest, though. I think, he showed enough defensive grappling back there where, that was years ago on the amateur scene, and he looked like he knew what he was doing. That and going for the guillotine on the Contender Series and hitting some takedowns. He's got more going on than just being a pure striker like I thought at first. But I still think taking him down is how his first professional loss is going to look. Mitch Raposo has the wrestling, I believe, and the striking to, if he's fresh, put together enough strikes to get in Andre Lima's face like Severino did and hit a takedown, or at least two of them to win the fight. But Andre Lima, he's an excellent striker, really a seasoned Muay Thai guy. He's a guy who, again, undefeated. Aside, I talked about that one loss. It was an amateur loss to Marco Stegli. But that last fight against Igor Severino or Igor da Silva was pretty close, to say the least. I thought round one was very close. Both guys really hurt each other. I thought Igor was in general pressuring a little more. And then in round two, maybe he ate too many step-in elbows or whatever. Igor decided to mix it up and go with takedowns, riding, and biting. A lethal combination. But take away the bite, and if you stop the fight right before the bite and just said, who do you think is winning? Who do you think is going to win? I would have picked Igor da Silva, Igor Severino. I would have picked him to win by decision at that moment. Even though at the end of round one, I thought he looked like the guy who was in worse shape. The way he was breathing and looking, I thought Andre Lima was going to take control of the fight. But again, Igor blew it, and we'll never get to know what round three looked like there. But Andre Lima, he's a guy that has been to round three before, the Contender Series fight against Hickson, Zeva, whatever the fuck. He looked really good in that fight all the way through. No cardio issues, even though he wasn't tested so much. And he had this other fight that he won by decision a year and a half, 2 years ago to this guy, Victor Santos. I wasn't able to see the fight, but he won a unanimous decision. So there's that. Also, as an amateur, the two victories that I can find are submission victories. So, again, a little more than meets the eye, grappling wise, for Andre Lima. But I can't say I'm picking Mitch Raposo because I have enough doubts about him, and I even have a firmer grasp on him. So I slightly favor Andre Lima, but with the odds being the way they are, I'm betting on Mitch Raposo. I think Mitch Raposo, if he's not hurt too badly by what kind of shape he's in, he can put together the wrestle boxer game plan and score enough points to out hustle Andre Lima. So I'll wait to see the props. Hopefully, the odds for him winning by decision are closer to plus 400 than plus 200, where his money line's at plus 180. And I will throw a sprinkle on that. But as of now, I've just bet on Mitch Raposo at plus 180 because I think, I can't say he's underrated, but the only high profile fights he's had are losses. So, whatever. It leaves a bigger stain. And I think both guys are 25 years old. I think both guys are improving. And Mitch Raposo, being a wrestler first and foremost, I think he can take Andre Lima off his feet and out of his element. So betting on that, not really too confident, or I'd be picking him, but confident enough to place the bet. Like, share, subscribe, all that horse shit, and check out my other videos.